1st is coming, and that doesn't just mean sunshine and days at the beach. That means a lot of salary cap adjustments in the National Football League, and specifically with the Baltimore Ravens. So at the top of today's show, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about June 1st and what it means for Baltimore. Then we're going to back that up with some trade targets for the Ravens after that day arrives. So why is June 1st so important? Well, if there is dead money in a player's contract and he is released or retires, that charge will accelerate onto the team's salary cap for the current year. And then June 2nd, any released player will only have his current season's prorated money count against the salary cap, and the rest will be deferred to 2026. So there was 3 players that Baltimore designated as post-June 1st cuts. That money will finally get added to the salary cap. So that's what we're talking about first up on today's show. What can Baltimore be expecting on June 1st? I got that information for you guys coming up very, very quickly. Before we get into that, make sure if you guys are not, to go ahead and hit that big red sub button down below. We currently got 31,726 members of the flock rocking with us right here on the Ravens Rundown. Only 274 away till we get to 32,000. That's our next big milestone. We want to get there as quickly as we can. It's free, it's informative, it's fun, and it's daily. 4 reasons why you guys need to join us right here on the Ravens Rundown. So currently, as we sit, the Ravens are at $16.27 million in cap space, which in theory, to you, myself, producer Tex, pretty much to 99% of the population, sounds like a lot of money. Unfortunately, for the Baltimore Ravens, it's not. 24th best in the National Football League, but that number is going to go up in just a little bit because they get some post-June 1st savings. First, coming up from Marcus Williams, the safety that was designated a post-June 1st cut. So when that day rolls around on Monday, and then it will officially be, on Sunday, the money will officially be here on Monday. It's a dead cap hit of $6.02 million, a cap saving of 2.10. So the 2.10 is what gets added to Baltimore's salary cap. But dead cap, what's dead cap, you ask? Well, great question. Dead money is a salary cap charge for a player no longer on a team's roster. Typically, it stems from guaranteed money already given to a player in the form of signing bonuses who's either released, traded, or retired. So basically, what that means is the fact that Marcus Williams is no longer on this team. That $6.02 million is dead, meaning it's kind of just sitting there. Baltimore can't use it, and it's already gone. However, with that all being said, moving on from Williams, it was the right call to make. And it looks a little bit different now after the Ardarius Washington injury. I will give you that. But still, regardless, his play on the field last year, it was atrocious. And there was no part of me that wanted him back this year, and definitely when you could save $2 million by cutting him. The second post-June 1st savings that Baltimore gets is from the one and only Justin Tucker. His dead cap hit is a lot less, only $2.87 million, and you save $4.20 million in releasing him. And if you think about the whole situation, everything that we've endured with Justin Tucker over the last couple months, and yes, still at this point, they are allegations. Nothing's true, nothing's false. He's not guilty, but he's not guilty at this point. Being able to save $4.2 million along with the headache that it would have been for him to still be on this roster is massive for Baltimore. And it doesn't mean it wasn't a hard decision. John Harbaugh spoke about this on OTA, saying in the end, it all comes back to what you have to do to get ready for your team to play the first game. I think if you take a step back and you take a look at all the issues and all the ramifications, you can understand that we've got to get our football team ready, and we've got to have a kicker ready to go. I'm sure it was a very difficult decision, right? Especially for John Harbaugh, a guy who has spent years and years and years coaching up Justin Tucker. That was difficult, but it was the right one. Not only because of all the allegations, but those mixed with the savings, mixed with the play on his field last year, all 3 of those things point to this being correct. I need to know from you guys, though. Sound off for me in the comment section. Were you guys surprised that the Ravens released Justin Tucker? I know it's been a crazy last couple months, but y'all give me your answer by saying yes or no down below. All right, let's talk about the third name. It is Michael Pierce, defensive tackle. And it's a retirement, so it's not a post-June 1st designation, but you still get some money from it because of the way that Baltimore kind of manipulated that whole situation. They did it very, very smart. He's a dead cap hit of $667,000 only. His cap savings, double that, $1.25 million. And Brian McFarland released this when it happened. So the Ravens and Michael Pierce have adjusted his contract to allow them to transact his retirement after June 1st. The revision removed $2 million roster bonus, was due on 3/16, and his workout bonus. The revision created $745,000 immediately, and there will be an additional $1.255 million in savings after 6 months. So Eric DeCosta, that front office, all of those wonderful people who manage the cap, did some beautiful adjusting, added a little bit more money. Now, going into 2025, this is how the dead money looks. Odell Beckham, $8.3 million. Ronnie Stanley, $8.2. Aguilar, $3.3. Arthur Mallette, $250K. Demarion Williams, $126K. And Devin Leary, $103,000. Coming up on the show, we got some post-June 1st candidates and trade targets that you guys need to keep your eye on for 2025. Before that, another thing you guys got to keep your eye on, these sweet white polos. You can go to Fanatics right now and get yourself one. Chatsports.com/white polo, 32% off. What a wonderful deal. Only $34 for a clean, fresh, white Baltimore Ravens polo. Got the old school logo. It's a great deal. Father's Day is coming up. The summers are coming up. You can wear it on the golf course. You can wear it to work. You can wear it anywhere. Chatsports.com/white polo is where you got to go. That link's in the comments and description of today's video. All right, we got 4 post-June 1st trade targets to talk about. Let's start with Jaylen Ramsey, cornerback of the Miami Dolphins. Miami has made it very apparent that once June 1st rolls around is most likely when they are going to trade Jaylen. So could Baltimore be the one that ends up with him? Well, Miami will save $10 million by trading him after June 1st, prior to before it. And if I had to give my prediction, I don't see it happening. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were somewhat interested in Jaylen Ramsey, but for the price of the rest of his contract, it just doesn't really make sense where Baltimore currently sits with their cap space and cap room. I need you guys to let me know, though, okay? I'm about to give you 3 more names. I want you to name a player Baltimore should trade for in the comment section right now. All right, next up, a name we've talked about a lot over the last couple of months. How about Jaire Alexander, cornerback from the Packers? We all know that him and Lamar had that Louisville connection. And Green Bay actually saved $17 million trading him after June 1st. However, when it comes to Alexander, I don't know if you guys keep up with the Packers much. They offered him a restructured contract on Tuesday. He's yet to sign it, but my prediction for that whole situation, he just ends up back in Green Bay on a different deal, more incentivized based on the games that he plays. A really interesting name is Javon Dexter, the defensive tackle with the Bears. This one seems the most likely for me. Of all of these targets, who would Baltimore most be interested in? I think it is Dexter. He had a really good season last year, and Chicago could save $1.36 million if they do trade him after June 1st. He's still really, really young. Again, he's gotten better and better as he's gone on through his career. We all know that interior defensive lineman is something that Baltimore needs to add a little bit more depth to. Let's go back to the cornerback room. Notice how every single one of these are on the defensive side of the ball. Jaquan McMillan, cornerback from the Broncos, another young cat, only 24 years old. He currently is playing on a $1.03 million ERFA tender, so he's not making a lot of money. Broncos could save a little bit if they trade him, and I think he could be an interesting depth piece and possibly even compete for that CB2 spot on this roster. All that to say, I wouldn't be shocked if Baltimore added somebody by sometime this next week or sometime at all next week, right? June 1st kicks in. That's usually when these teams want to make deals happen because that's when they add a little bit more money to the salary cap, and that's when those players are more likely to be available. So keep it on the lookout. Keep it watching, okay, because something might happen. And when something does happen, I'll have it covered on social media. So make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8 on both of those platforms. And for the best coverage, long form you could find, you got it right here at the Ravens Rundown. Hit that big red sub button down below. Join us for everyday coverage on your favorite team in purple and black.